Well, everybody, welcome back to the Drake Podcast TV in this beautiful Friday, right? Yes, today is Friday. Talking about the second part of how to study the Bible. And if you missed the first part, I'll link it at the bottom of this video. But basically, the first video talked about the arc that I teach in terms of how to study the Bible. And so I won't go into it now, but check out that video. But in this video, the second part, and I think I may do a third part on how to actually maybe teach somebody else the Bible. But in this video, I wanted to go over the different resources, actual websites and books and podcasts that I recommend that are out there. And of course, you may have your own resources that you enjoy. But I wanted to go over a few of them. So I'm going to just go here to my screen and I'm going to show you some of the resources that I recommend, basically from Amazon, that you can purchase, you can study. So here on Amazon, I just typed in Bible commentary. So that would be the first thing, is to get a commentary. A commentary is just as it sounds, making comments or having scholarly opinions on what the Bible teaches. And I want to say scholarly because these are men and women who have doctorates or master's degree. I have a master's degree in theology. So I wouldn't say I'm at the level of these men and women, but I certainly enjoy studying and learning. I would consider myself a scholar, theologian, but commentaries are written for that very purpose, to teach you what the Bible means in terms of those three steps: the historic, the truth. Some of them do application, not all. I would say that you want to compare and contrast different commentaries based on those kind of two or three levels. So these first that I'm going to go over are more on the contextual or historic level. So I would say the MacArthur Bible Commentary definitely will go over a lot of the historic, and probably primarily in that end of things, including the Greek and the Hebrew. The New Testament was written in Greek or Aramaic, which is the more common Greek, and then the Old Testament is written in Hebrew. And so that's why you hear a lot about Greek and Hebrew. In school, I studied both Greek and Hebrew. Not very easy classes or languages, but very important to know, at least to have some concept of that. This one here is called the Moody Bible Commentary. Moody he was a preacher, Charles Moody, I believe. And I think he was in Chicago. And so there's a Bible college called Moody Bible Institute. And so Moody has come out with their own commentary. I recommend that. My favorite probably is this one here, the Bible Knowledge Commentary of the Old and New Testament. This is the one that I give to young people I'm discipling as a gift often. So if you would like to receive a gift, you can just simply sign up for my discipleship class, and I would love to then gift you these resources. They're very good. They're only $55, I think, for one, or maybe it's for both. I'm not sure, but they're not expensive. And they, again, are more on the historic side of things. So I recommend a lot of historic commentaries when you're starting out, really forever, because they do provide more of that foundation. Let's see, a study Bible. Let's talk about study Bibles. Study Bibles are very good because they're simple and they're more, depending on the author and the publishing house, they tend to apply the Bible a lot more than just straight up commentaries. So something like the Apologetics Study Bible is a good one because it will go over, apologetics means how to defend your faith. Apology, which means defend or to speak or to talk about. It's a study of many different schools of thought, but this one particularly talks about how to defend your faith. So someone, let's say, who's a Muslim or an agnostic or an atheist, or someone who will talk to you about LGBTQ or abortion, some of the more relevant stuff, politics, this is how to defend your faith, how to defend what you believe, and really just simply, even if you're not defending it, how to know the pros and cons, the kind of the cases against and for the historicity of the Bible. Obviously, the Muslim religion will say that the Bible is corrupt, that it is not true, that it is not faithful. And so these are good books to study if you are more on that end of things, you like to really think things through, and or maybe you're just not sure that you believe all that the Bible teaches, that might be a very good study Bible. Matthew Henry's commentary, this one here, is a kind of a general sort of one size fits all commentary. It says concise because it probably doesn't go into too much Greek and Hebrew. Matthew Henry will tend to have a lot of application, which can be good. If you are kind of more in the need or more wanting application, meaning what does it mean to me? So nothing wrong with that, of course. But again, I would say that if you're going to buy a commentary, that I would recommend that you get more of the ones that are more foundational and more in the languages, more in the context and historic background of the Bible, and then move on to the more applicable or application type books. The ESV Study Bible is a bestseller for a good reason. It's a wonderful version of the Bible, very accurate. In terms of versions, you may hear people talk about the ESV, the King James, Spanish has a lot of different translations, the Reina Valera, which is the King James, the NIV. And so in English, I would say the ESV, the King James, the New King James, the NASB are probably the more historic, more accurate to the text. And so those are ones that you may want to get if you are, again, more kind of hungry for the foundation of Scripture. If you're more into the application, I would say the ESV is very good also for both that and historic. The NIV, the Passion Bible, the Message are very applicable. And so you're going to get fresh language, still based on the Greek and Hebrew, but more fresh language that you can understand, not as much traditional kind of English, Old English language. So let's see here. All of these are very good. This one here, the Nelson's Quick Reference. I think Nelson has a lot of different resources. Chapter by chapter Bible commentary by Worsby. Worsby is a wonderful author who has written many, many, many books that are very right on and very accurate and historic, and also some application. But anything by Worsby I would recommend. And this is where it gets into who's writing the resource, the authors, the publishing houses, denomination matters. So you have conservative, you have more Pentecostal, you have more liberal, you have maybe Lutheran or Catholic or evangelical, non-denominational, Methodist. You want to know kind of what you're into or kind of what church you go to or kind of how you grew up, and then look into some of those resources that may feed your hunger, your thirst, and or if you feel like your church didn't have a lot of theological background or teachings, then you may want to go to something like Worsby or like the ones that I've recommended before that are more general. I don't think it matters what denomination you're a part of. These resources are timeless and go across most denominations. Now, if you are getting into Mormonism and Jehovah's Witnesses, you definitely are going to have now some problems because some of those denominations, they have issues with Jesus and his divinity, etc. So again, Worsby Bible commentary, as I said, anything by Worsby, I definitely recommend. Matthew Henry is a little older, but very audio. It's an audio, so it's $0. So hey, can't beat free. Andrew's Bible commentary, very good. You'll see a lot of Matthew Henry. He's very popular. He's, like I said, a little older. I think it was written maybe in the early 1900s, I believe. Maybe not quite that old. But it's good. It just might not be the English or the commentary might not be as timely, but I still use it once in a while. I probably don't use it as much. Through the Bible by Vernon McGee is another one that I've loved and enjoyed. Very historic. He has a southern drawl. He's passed away now, but he was a great preacher on the radio and here in LA. And so notice this one is volumes 1 through 5 for only $100, Genesis to Revelation. Now, Vernon will definitely have more application. He will get even political at times. This is, again, back in the, 1960s and 70s. So you may want to just be aware of that. This one, the Expositor's Bible Commentary, is maybe my favorite. It is deeper. So and it's $90 for, was it just, for the whole Old Testament. So the 2-volume one. So it's not bad. This one is heavier. You're going to have a lot of historic background, a lot of Greek and Hebrew, This might be more if you maybe are past the first level of the ones I showed you. Maybe those are more like level one. This is level two, level three. Like this is the kind of stuff that I used in seminary. And so it's very deep, very useful. Again, if you're more of a brainy type and you love, I mean, I love deep stuff. So that might be a good one for you. They actually have all of these by book. And I think I have like, I don't know, I think I have all 66 books of the Bible, but I think I have, I don't know, 20, 25 of these. I love them. I have one book that's about 3-4 inches just in the book of Romans. That's very, very good stuff if you are crazy like me. The Bible Knowledge Commentary, as I mentioned earlier, these are amazing resources. They're very inexpensive and very general. They have a lot of biblical stuff, some application, not too much application, which is good. You don't want to get too much into application at this level where you're studying more the depth and the background. All of these here, Revelation, Thomas Schreiner, exegetical, basically means the languages, Hebrew and Greek. If you want to know more of the background of the words of love, let's say, you may know it, but in Greek, there are 3 or maybe 4 words for love. It's not just love. It's friendly love, it's romantic love, it's love that comes from above, it's friendship love, there are kinds of love, and so words for love. And so the Baker exegetical commentary is very good in terms of the background of the words and more in depth for sure. I would say it's more like a 1, maybe 2, level 2. So those are really good books to get you started. Now, there are some, like this one here, is called the Colossians Phrase by Phrase. As I mentioned, if you want, let's say you want a commentary just on the book of Psalms, then I would go and just search commentary book of Psalms, because then you get more in depth into each psalm. The Psalms obviously are beautiful. A lot of people love going through the Gospels. And so you may want to just choose a book that you enjoy and just go from there. Now, something more applicable, the NIV application commentary is very popular with a lot of youth pastors, a lot of young people, because they are applicable. So this is the old cover, but I think now it's this one here. But either way, the NIV application commentary on the Bible, this is, I think, the whole Bible, for only $31. That's why it's called application. So not a lot of Greek and Hebrew and a lot of historic, some, but primarily they're going to have maybe 1 or 2 paragraphs on how it applies to you today, what it means for young people, what it means for men, for women. There are different kinds of applications that they have based on who you are in Spanish and English. And so that might be a very good resource for you if you're looking for something more kind of applicable. So I want to go through some Bibles now that I recommend. So again, as I mentioned, the ESV, the King James, the NASB are probably the most foundational, meaning heavier, deeper, traditional, more historic. As far as application, I mentioned the NIV is a great translation of the Bible, but I want to talk about the Passion Bible, Passion Translation. Let's see here, Passion Bible. So they don't yet have the whole Bible translated, but they have this one here. This is the New Testament. I have this one. I love it. It is more, you could say, contemporary or modern English. It's accurate. Some people don't think it's as accurate, but I believe it is pretty accurate. I use it a lot. I love preaching from it, studying it for myself. I love doing Bible studies in it, cross-reference, meaning comparing one translation to another. That's a good thing to do when you're maybe getting more in depth into Bible study and discipleship. So you may want to check this one out. The Passion Translation is a great one that I recommend. And then I mentioned the Message. Yeah, I don't know if I said the Passion. I meant the Message earlier. The Message Bible. Let's see, the Message Bible by what is his name? Eugene Peterson. He passed away recently. This is a great, even more contemporary language that says on there now. He was a theologian, historic man, and a scholar, but he definitely wanted this translation to be more, just understandable. And maybe I can read a sample here. It says here, read sample. Let's see if we can read something from it. Let's see here. Okay, so here is, where did it go? Genesis 1. So this is from the Message. First this. So right off the bat, normally you know that it says in the beginning. But he's translating from the Hebrew, but his language is first this: God created the heavens and earth. All you see, all you don't see, earth was a soup of nothingness, a bottomless emptiness, an inky blackness. God's spirit brooded like a bird above the watery abyss. Now, I know you don't often hear that preached, right? But it's very accurate. It is more picturesque. It is more relevant. A lot of worship leaders, a lot of preachers read from the message because of the language that is more not historic, more metaphorical, more picturesque, more flowery, you could say, accurate. It's not inaccurate. You're not going to be in heresy, but you definitely are going to get more of that flowery language. And they have this in audio, they have it in the pocket size, all these things. So those are the Bibles that I recommend, including the ESV, the King James. People like the King James. I'm not a big King James fan because, yes, it is accurate, but the language is older, obviously, from King James, who was from England, I believe, or Spain. James, probably England. And so, but it is timely, not timely, it is historic, it is accurate. And yeah, it's a good thing to compare. As I was saying, you may want to have different versions to compare the NIV to the ESV to the NASB to the Message to the Passion, and know the levels. As I said, you want level 1, which is more historic, level 2, which is maybe a mixture, then level 3, which is more flowery or contemporary. All of those Bibles are great, but you want to know kind of where you're at and what you're looking for. So now I wanted to go over some websites that I recommend. This one's called Blue Letter Bible. This one, if you're into language, meaning the Greek and the Hebrew. So let's say Psalm 22, right? I love Psalm 22. It's about Jesus' death on the cross. So this one, let me make this bigger. Maybe you can't see it as well. So this one, let's see here, hold on here. This one says, to the chief musicians, a cry of anguish and a song of praise. Now notice it says here the King James Version. So we're not looking necessarily for the version, but we're looking more for the language, meaning what does the word mean? What do the words mean? So it says here, oh my God, I cry in the daytime, but thou hearest not, and in the night season, and I'm not silent. What does the word silent mean? Well, we obviously can probably deduce what it means. Let's keep going though. But thou, you know what? Let's not use the King James. Again, the thous and all that stuff can be a bit much, at least for me. Let's see. Boop. Okay, ESV. ESV doesn't have the thous. Why have you forsaken me? Right? Oh my God, I cry by day, but you do not answer, and by night, but I find no rest. He finds no rest. What does that mean? Is it physical rest, spiritual? So we click on tools, and then we go down here. It says interlinear, meaning it's going to have both the English and the Hebrew. Psalms were written in Hebrew. And I don't know where the resource went. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, so now we're going to go down here. And where was that? Verse, what's wrong here? Let's see here. Something. Okay, there it is. Nor rest. Okay, so there it says nor rest, correct? Now, I don't know why I can't see it. It must just be the... Oh, there it is. Okay, it's just the size of this. So I'm sorry you can't quite see. But here, I'm going to look for the word rest. Okay, so verse 2. Okay, so let's see here. Where is verse 2? You do not answer by night, but I have no rest. I know you can't see it, but here it says rest. Maybe see if I can make this bigger for you. No, it won't work. Okay, so the word rest, let's see what it sounds like.
Strong's H 1747. Dumiyah. Dumiyah.
So that's how you pronounce the word in Hebrew for rest, dumiyah, as you just heard him say. Well, what does the word dumiyah mean in the original Hebrew? Now, if you want to spell and write Hebrew, there it is. Dumiyah is how you would say it. Let's click on H 1747. This is the meaning of the word dumiyah. Let's see if I can make this bigger. Okay, good. It's a feminine noun. Okay, so it's something that is feminine, dumiyah. And then it says the King James translates it as wait, silence, silent. And then outline, it says silence, still, repose, still waiting. Dumiyah, stillness, adverbially, silently, abstractly, quiet, trust, silence, silent, waiteth. So yeah, it's a feminine noun. And basically, it just means to wait, to rest. Now look at down here, it says Gesenius's Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon. Silence, an adverb, silently, the silent expectation of divine aid. Upon God alone my soul is confident. I love that phrase, a silent expectation of divine aid. Let's go back to the passage and let's read that now. The silent expectation of divine aid. Now let's read Psalm 22:2. Oh my God, I cry day by day. I cry by day, but you do not answer, and by night I find no rest. I find no divine presence. I already forgot what it said. I find no, what was it? I want to see what it said. Silent expectation of divine aid. Silent expectation. I find no silent expectation of divine rest. Isn't that beautiful and rich? That word rest, konani, I believe it was. So in other words, here the psalmist is saying, Lord, I'm crying to you. You do not answer me day or night. I find no rest. I thought you would be there for me. I had a silent expectation. So meaning something that only I knew about, that you would give me rest. That not my circumstances, but that you, God, and yet you're not there for me. I mean, isn't that human and beautiful and rich and powerful? Right? It's not just physical rest. It's not just, okay, I'm tired. It's I had this expectation, kunani, right? The word in Hebrew, that I would find rest from God. And yet I can't find it. So there you go. That's why knowing the Hebrew or the words or the Greek, the Aramaic is so powerful, because it gives you, like my professor would say, the English gives you a black and white picture. The Greek and Hebrew gives you a full color, 4K picture of the scriptures. So I would recommend the Blue Letter. I also recommend Bible Gateway. It's a wonderful website. It has all kinds of sauce. All the versions up here in Spanish and English. I believe it has languages, meaning like what we just did, where you click. I don't think it's as easy as a Blue Letter Bible, but it is very good. And you can also, let's say you want a theme such as, tiredness. And I believe it'll give you a bunch of verses on tired, maybe. How about just tired? So let's see here. Maybe not, huh? What was it? Topical, maybe. Topical. So Matthew 11, so it has a few verses there that include the word tired. Maybe weary is maybe a better word for New King James, weary. So there it goes. Let us not grow weary. They became weary, etc. So all these verses. It's a great way to do this is basically called a word study, where you type in a word that you're dealing with. Let's say, I don't know, fear. So then you have a bunch of verses on the word fear, and then you can go into them. It says in context, other translations, full chapter. So for example here, there is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. Wow. So let's read the full chapter, or in context it says. Now here it is, right? Love has been perfected among us, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment, because, well, there is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear involves torments. But he who fears has not been made perfect in love. We love him because he first loved us. Now, while we're here in this website, I love it because see this little A here? That's called a cross-reference, or a footnote. You click on A and it gives you, it says NU, or the new, what does NU mean? I'm not sure. Omits him. So we love because he first loved us. So NU, I'm not sure what NU means. So notice how it says here, NU omits him. So what does NU mean? Let's see. What does NU mean in the Bible? In Bible commentary? How about that? Commentary. NU refers to variations from the traditional text, and is the Greek New Testament and the United Bible Societies. So it's basically a group of people that study the Bible. Okay, so it's like a commentary house, you could say, or scholars that have gotten together and they study the Greek and Hebrew, and they have concluded that in the original Greek, in this case, there was no him. It just says we love because he first loved us. So they infer, because it says we love because he first loved us, that him is inferred. So that's what NU means. So isn't that great? All these resources. Now here on the right, it says Hebrew and Greek. Learn more about blah, blah, blah. This option is free in some passages. Learn more. So this is now we get into paid stuff and all that stuff. So that's why, as I said, you have to know kind of what each website offers for free. Now, so those are two that I recommend. There's also, what else I recommend that I use often? I use those a lot. There is another program if you want to actually use software, and it's not cheap. It's maybe $500. It's called Logos, which means the word, the most complete Bible study platform. This is a full-on website and download that you can get. It's not free. It's not cheap. Maybe it's even $1,000, but it has all the things that I was just mentioning, different versions. Basically, it has all those resources, all those books are included in Logos. That's why it's so expensive and valuable. It includes all those resources. Maybe I'll see if I can fire it up here. I do have it. And you know what? Actually, before I even do that one, I have this other one that is free. Let's go with free. This one is called, yes, Accordance. Now, Accordance is similar, but it only has one version. I believe it's the New King James, or maybe it's even the King James. So it's not as powerful. Again, it's free, which is my kind of jam. So, but there it is. See, so this has all the passages, and notice how it has on the right, I know you can't see it very well, the Greek and Hebrew. You double click on any word, and then on the right, if it's found in Greek and Hebrew, not every word is found. So none of these apparently, or am I missing something here? Let's see here. Friend? Okay, there. I guess a triple click. I don't know if it's a friend. There it is on the right. It says etairos. This is in Greek, which means a clansman or a comrade, a fellow. So as Jesus said to him, "Friend, do what you came to do." He's speaking to Judas there. So how about that? Hey, clansman. Hey, comrade. Go ahead and betray me. So very, very powerful. This is the ESV, so that's very good. That's why I love this. A free website or free download. It is the ESV. It has a Strong's Concordance, which is basically a cross-reference of where this word friend is found elsewhere in the Bible. And then it does have the Greek Strong's Dictionary, which is awesome. You double click or triple click, I guess. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, maybe like, I don't know how many times. So the Greek word for sign, now the betrayer, Judas, had given them a sign. What does the word sign mean? The word in Greek is semeion, which means an indication, especially ceremonially or supernatural. Miracle, a sign, a token, or wonder. How beautiful, right? That what Judas did when he betrayed Jesus was a token, was a supernatural sign, a ceremonial sign. So it had a lot of weight to it. And because the sign that he used was the one I will kiss is the man sees him. So it was something powerful, ceremonial. It wasn't just like, there he is. It had a lot of weight to it. So how about that, right? Beautiful stuff to just know. Again, if you like to learn this, these resources are for you. Now, notice here on the left, I know you can't see it, but look at all these resources. The ESV with Strong's, Cornelius' something or the other, King James with Strong's, ESV, and then it has a couple more. Tools, dictionaries, commentaries, Greek lexicon. This is a very powerful, and I believe it's free resource. Now, let me go back to Logos. This will be the last thing I'll show you. Logos. This is, if it even opens, this thing is so big, it might take like 3 hours to open. Probably the most powerful, I would say, software that's out there for deep Bible study, because it includes all of these books. That's why it's expensive. It includes most of the commentaries that I was showing you. They're in this software, including Greek and Hebrew, application, New King James, ESV, the Matthew Henry commentary, the Bible commentary, all these different resources. And so you can see already what a powerful tool this is. And so, yeah, it's my computer's probably too old for this software. It's a very heavy, and as I said, it's not free. It's maybe $1,000. Maybe they have a free. I'm sure they have a free version, a light version you can probably get. So let's just type in here Psalm 22, right? Back to what we were just doing earlier. So Psalm 22, boom. Let's see what it says. Now, this is, again, if you want to go deep and you want to invest in your own growth, especially as a teacher or a professor or just a disciple maker. You want to help young people, old people, anybody. You want to help people learn more about who God is. This would be a great investment. So It's taking its time again. As I said, this is a huge software, and my computer's old too, to be fair. So it's got the little death of wheel death. So while it's spinning, that's a little bit, I guess, of the resources that I wanted to share with you. Let me just go to this view here while it's loading, because all these tools are powerful for you to grow. If you were to start with something, I would recommend get a concordance, because that's the one that tells you where the word fear is found in the Bible. So you can do a word study or a word search on the word fear, or fearless, or powerful, or glory, or whatever word you're thinking of. Shepherd, goodness. You can also get, like I said, those Bible knowledge commentaries. Those are amazing, very powerful, not expensive. There's one for the New Testament, one for the Old Testament. Goes through every chapter, every book. Okay, here it is. It's open now, so let's go back to it. So check this out. Psalm 22. Look at this. I know you can't see it very well, but it has all of these content commentaries, journals, cross-references. It has all these commentaries, including the ones I mentioned, the commentary of the Old Testament, the Bible knowledge, Matthew Henry. And it right here on the right, it has all the places where the word is found. It has the Greek and Hebrew right there built in. I mean, you name it, it has it. It has application, meaning how do you apply this to your life. It has sermon ideas. It has outlines of the passage. It has themes. Let's say Mother's Day is coming, or Easter. It is an incredible, incredible resource. Media collections, illustrations, music ideas, compare versions. I mean, you name it. It's all on here on this software. And I don't know how much it is, but I know it's not cheap. And I know it's so powerful. And I use it. When I was preaching every Sunday, I would use this all the time. Now, I must say I'm a book guy, so I love having 20 books around me. But if you're a software guy, then this, and if you are at this level, you want to invest, let's say $500 in your training. Maybe you want to go to seminary or Bible college, but you can't afford it or whatever. This would be a great place to start. And I offer coaching on all of these tools to walk you through how to use them, how to study, how to preach, how to study the Bible. I have done this not only in seminary, but also in ministry for the last 30 years. So I would love to help you in your own growth as a teacher, as a student, as a disciple maker, as a Bible study leader, small group leader, wherever you are. We can use these resources together. I can coach you through them. I can be that place where you say, hey, Trey, can you just look something up for me? I have paid services for that. I have all kinds of things that I would love to help you as you grow in your own knowledge of who God is. And so that we can all just simply grow and be better students of the Word, be people whose faith is growing and God is using, and you can apply the Bible to your fears, your concerns, your goals, your needing money, needing health, needing peace. If you want to help your parents or a student or your friend, or you just for you, right? You want to learn more about God so you can live a better life, so that you're not just a baby Christian, but you're ready to now kind of get into that meat and potatoes of the Word of God. These are the resources that I recommend. Again, from someone who spent a lot of money on school, seminary, and most of all, I'm a student of the Word of God, and I love sharing it, and I believe God has given me a gift to teach and to share it with other people in a way that they can understand it, in a way that people can feel like, wow, God is there. And I can walk you through all that. I offer, as I said, mentorship, and I have different paid plans on how I can mentor you, an hour a week or 5 hours a month or whatever you may want, online or in person or via Zoom or however you would want to do that. I'm here to help. I hope that helps you. I hope that these are good resources. Please share this video with whoever you may know or may want these resources. I'm here to help. Please reach out to me in whatever way you can. DM me, text me, email me, trey@davidtree.com. Go to my website, Instagram, wherever, and let's get going. Thank you again for being here, and I'll see you next time. Adios.